Hello everyone, welcome again to another video. Today we are looking at life skills and computer literacy level 3, which was a final exam of 2022. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please click subscribe and click the like button and notification so that you get notified every time when I upload another video. Question 1 is displayed on the screen. You can see it says use MS Word and the instructions below to prepare your document. So the document that you see now on the screen, it is the document that they are actually looking for. So I have created the document already, but obviously in the question paper it will show you the document that you have to type, and then you are retyping what you find in the question paper as question 1. So I've already typed it. We'll go through it to check the things that are important as you are doing question 1 so that you don't miss any instruction, and then you can obtain all the marks which are given according to the question paper. Question 1.2, it says use font type Times New Roman 12. If you look at this document, you can see that the font type that I have here is Times New Roman and font size 12. That is what I used to type this document. So meaning that before I can type, you have to click here and change the font type, and also click there to change the font size. So mine is accurate. Let's look at 1.3. It says as a header, insert your examination number left and question 1 right. So meaning that on this document, now I'm going to insert the header, and this is how you do it. Obviously, you know by now you go and click insert. So when I click insert there, on the right hand side you will find header and footer. So they are looking for the header. I click header, and then I have to check what type of a header I want. I want it on the left and also on the right hand side. So I can take the one that says blank 3 columns, then it will insert a header for me. On the left hand side, the examination number is your own ID number. So in this case, for now, I will just type examination number. So but for you, you will type your own ID number in the exam. The middle one here we were not told to use, so I will click and press delete on the keyboard. On the right hand side we are supposed to type question 1, so I click there and type question 1. So now after putting question 1 in the header on the right hand side, then the instruction that follows says edit the main document, or the main heading. Edit the main heading, the importance of networking, to appear in Rockwell Extra Bold 16. So that is a font. That is a font, Rockwell Extra Bold, and then you are going to make it a font size 16. So what is happening now, it means since while we are still in the header, you have to go out of the header by clicking close header and footer. So when I click it like this, now my cursor is blinking on my document, and you can see that the cursor is blinking right next to the heading. So I'm going to highlight the heading like I'm doing now, and then when the heading is highlighted, then I can make sure that I look at the instruction again in the question paper to ensure that I'm going to use the correct font and the font size. So the font is a Rockwell Extra. So I go to the font there where I can type Rockwell, so as to search for it, Rockwell. So when I say Rockwell Extra, there it is. I press enter because it's highlighted. My heading is highlighted, so it will change immediately when I press enter. And then I have to make it bold, and then I have to make the font size to be 16. There it is. And then now looking at the instruction, now it says 1.5 double underline the heading, and then I have to make sure that I double underline the subheading. So now that is the heading. So I have to go and look for the subheading, because in the brackets they've indicated what the subheading starts with. The subheading that they're looking for starts with main sources of. So this is the one. I have to highlight it and then make sure that I double underline. So when you double underline, you cannot just rush and click the U because you know that it's underlined. Click the small arrow next to that, and then you will see different type of underlining. So I'm going to choose double underline, and then you will see that it's applied now to the heading, which is the subheading that I've highlighted. 1.6 says insert the table with 2 columns and 4 rows. So the table that I've inserted here, I counted on my question paper as it was indicated. How many columns do I want? How many rows do I want? Because when you are there where you are supposed to insert it, when you go and click insert, when it goes to table, you will have to go to insert table and specify number of rows and number of columns. So in my case, I've indicated here when I was inserting it that I want only 2 columns, because columns are actually horizontally, which is on the left and on the right. But the rows, you count them horizontally, so I had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case here, I've put 4. So when I click OK, that is when I got this. So already I've done it. Then I typed the information inside because it was displayed in the question paper. And then the next instruction says bold and change the alignment of the table headings to the right, and then justify the whole document. So now looking at the way the document will change, like indicated now on the question paper, the heading that we have changed to Rockwell, you see it's indicated there. You can see that the table is indicated as to how it must change with bold and right align and double underline. So we are going to change the information inside the table to be bold and right align. So I'm going to highlight the headings and make it bold by clicking home, bold, and then I'm going to make it right align. There it is, just like that. And then my subheading is double underlined, so meaning that I've covered everything that is needed in question number 1. So now looking at the instruction 1.8 says justify the whole document. So my whole document is there. I can highlight the text there and click justify, which is there just after left align, and then there it is, justify, that the last one there. So my document is justified on the left, and on the right the margins are equal. That is how you do justify. And then 1.9 says save the document as networking 1 on your disk or according to your college examination regulations. So I've saved it as networking 1, so meaning that it's saved already. And then they say 1.10 print the document on one portrait page and place the printout in your examination folder. So this is how it will come out when you print, clicking file, and then when you go to print, you will see that it is in portrait. So when we look at the document here on the preview, you can see that it is in portrait because it is appearing vertically, not horizontally. Then you can click the big button of print, and then it will come out of the printer. Right, so now that is how you do question 1. Okay, so going to question 2. Question 2 says retrieve the document that you have saved as networking 1 and edit it according to the instructions below. 2.2 says edit the header and type your examination number and question 2 center align. So now going back to our header, because we have saved this document as networking 1, now we are going to make changes on it so that we can save it differently. So I have examination number there. Now this must be centered according to the instructions. So when I click home there and click center, you can see that nothing changes, because remember when you insert the header, when you're inserting the header, you took the one with 3 blank columns. So now I'm going to reinsert the header because I want to make changes on it. So when I go to header and take 3 blank columns, then I have to remove this one on the left, this one on the right, because this one here I will type examination number, which is your own ID number. Okay, so it meaning that when you are doing this here, you are typing your own ID number. Okay, then when you press enter there, you have to make sure that now you are going to make the cursor to blink below the examination number, you can press tab once. It will be there exactly, because that is the placeholder for typing at the center of the header. Now I'm going to type what is given to me in the instruction. They said I must type question 2. Remember, now we are preparing question 2, which is going to be changed from question 1 to question 2. So I did that. Now I click close header and footer because I need to work on my document. Looking at the document there, as displayed according to the way it will change, you can see that the table is going to change. I'm going to have a page break somewhere appearing, and then we're going to have where we're going to insert a picture there. Now let's look at the instruction again. It says 2.3, shade the first row of the table with white background 1 darker 50. So meaning that I'm going to go to the table, first row, highlight, and then I'm going to apply shading to this row. So I'm going to go to the paragraph group. There you can see shading, it's under there under paragraph group. When I click there, I will have to look for the name white background 1 darker 50. When you put your mouse and leave it, it will give you the name of the shading that you are looking for. So now one by one, when you move your mouse there, it will give you the type of shading. So I'm looking for white background 1 darker 50. So then obviously the darker is going to be more dark, then it has to be 50. There it is. You can see as indicated. Now I found it. So when I click it, now it's shaded according to that. 2.4 says apply borders around the table as indicated. So when you look at the table here on the question paper as displayed, it must have a double border around your table. So meaning that now I can go and highlight the whole table and change it. So now the whole table obviously will have a double line border so around it. Then it means now I have to make sure that my cursor is blinking inside the table. Then you will see this handle here on the top left corner. When I click it, only the table is selected. So what you can do now, you look at the tools there. You have design and layout under table tools. So this is a temporary tool for the table, meaning that if your cursor is blinking somewhere else, like now it's blinking amongst my text outside the table, that tool is not there. But when I click inside the table, that tool comes back. So when you see that tool, make sure that your table is selected by the handle on the top left corner. So I did it just now. Now when you click either one of the two, when you click design, you'll find all the other things that you can use to edit the table. Okay, when you click layout, it's when now you're going to make changes to the borders and other things, that the grid lines of the table and so on. So now I'm going to go to design because we need a double border around the table. Then I see border there, I click it, and then now you go to more there, down there where it says borders and shading, so that you can actually see a preview of what you're doing. And then now I'm going to go and look for the sample here on the right hand side of that represents my table. So everything that is here represents the table that you see there. So now I need a double border around, meaning outside. So I have to take the type of line that I need. So it's a double line border. Then now I need it only around, meaning that inside I still need it to remain as single lines. So then I will go and take a single line and put it, apply inside, but outside there I will put a double line border. So now I will go and take a double line and put double line, double line, double line, and also on the right hand side. So meaning that when I click OK, you see that double line border is only outside, but inside I still have a single line border. But look at the text. The text has changed there on the question paper where the information is numbered on the left, and on the right hand side they've used Roman figures. So I have to use the same as well. So I can highlight on my text there and go to home and choose the number system and take the one with bracket like this, and then go on the right hand side and take the numbering system under home there, and then I choose Roman figures. There it is. So you apply them by choosing them from the tools. You don't retype them so that they are accurate. Then now there's a page break as indicated there below the table, so meaning that my cursor must blink below the table. There it is, it's blinking as you see. Now I'm going to insert a page break, so I'm going to go and click layout, and then you will see that you have page break there. When I click it, I can say page so that I break my page. Then now I'm on page 2 as I'm scrolling down, which is now indicated on the question paper. As you see here, it says we must insert a picture and make sure that the picture height and width is going to be 6 dotted border. So any picture, because it says we must insert any picture. Right, now I'm going to go to the document now. Again, my document there, it's waiting for me to insert any picture. So now when you are inserting the picture, you can just go to insert there and then click pictures, and then when you click pictures, it will open a file explorer where you have to choose the picture that you are inserting. So any picture that you find in your folders, you can just insert, because they said any picture. So when I click there to insert a picture that I want, or maybe you go and look around until you find the picture that you think is suitable, and then immediately when you find it, if I click and then click insert, then the picture will just come there. So meaning that now the instruction, as you look, it says we have to insert the picture and make sure that the height is 2 centimeter and the width is 6. Okay, so meaning that now when you look at the picture again, you have to make sure that the handles are appearing around the picture. So I click on the picture there. When I click on the picture, you see that picture tools comes up there. Then on the right hand side, you have the width and the height. So when I put my mouse there, it shows you that this is the shape height. So the height must be 2 centimeter. So meaning that I can type 2 there, and then the width there must be 6. Then I put 6 there. Then now when it's like that, that is the right size that they want. But we are not done, because the border of the picture must be a dotted border. So meaning that I have to click on the picture and then make sure that I put a border around it. So when you look at picture tools again, it ensures that your picture is selected. So now you made sure. So when you click the picture, you made sure that picture tools is there, and then you can see format. So now on the right hand side a little bit, you can see picture border. When I click picture border, I can go down to choose the type of border that I want. So now there are dashes as well. So it means that you can go and choose a dotted border around. Then when I click it there, you can make it thick so that it's visible. So then we can go to picture border again, and then go to change the width of the border so that the border can be visible, so that everyone can see that you have changed it to a dotted border. So now this is like a dash border. So if I go to dash, there dashes, then I look for more lines, type of lines, so that I can find dots. More like dots there. So when you have applied it like this, then it's visible that you have applied dotted borders there. Right, now when we continue on our question paper, we are instructed to add more text just below the picture. So when you add more text, meaning that you look at your question paper and add what is missing. So as the question paper is displayed now, you can see that we have 2 columns on the left and on the right where we are going to insert this text. So now I'm going to make sure that the cursor is blinking just below the picture so that we can insert the text here. So I'm going to insert the text now, then we can continue. So before I insert the text, meaning that you have to create 2 columns first, on the left and on the right. So the easiest way to do it, there are 2 ways to do it. Either you split the paragraphs to text, or you create a page to accommodate 2 columns for you. So the easiest way also to do it is to go to insert, and then you can insert 2 columns of a table like this. Then we are going to remove the borders later on. So what happens now is that I can type the text and then on the left and also on the right, and remove the borders after that. So let me type the text first. Right, so after typing the text, now we need to remove the border around so that it shows that it's 2 paragraphs. It's 2 columns. So I'm going to highlight the first part of the column and make sure that we have the correct bullets. I'm going to go to home, and then I'm going to make sure that the bullets there, I have what has been indicated, and then on the right hand side as well, I'm going to highlight and make sure that I have the correct bullets as indicated. Then now we need to remove the border around, so I click there, then I go to layout, and then we need to remove everything around there. Then I go and say no border. When I say no border, then you can see that this is 2 columns. When you print it, it will be like that, 2 columns as it is. Right, so now after editing the document, now the instructions said we must save the document as networking 2 in our folder. So meaning that now I will go and save as, and then I will choose that it must save as networking 2. So I will choose the folder where it must go, and then now I will retype the name there and say networking 2, and then save. So as you see, updates indicated, networking 2 is the name of the file, and then now I can close it because I'm done working with it. So now coming to question 3. Question 3, as displayed on the screen, it says we must use Microsoft Excel and key in the spreadsheet below. Do not key in the row and column headings, borders. They were only inserted to indicate which cells should be used. So when we look at the spreadsheet here on my computer, it shows that we have typed the text as creating the spreadsheet. So I have created the spreadsheet already because it is exactly according to the rows indicated as to where each text must go. In row 1, this is what we're supposed to type. Row 3, then we skipped row 4 because it was also skipped in the question paper. Row 5, we type, and then row 6, nothing except in under column E where we have a central office, and row 8 we have here campus A up until campus C and officials, and then the text starting from row 9 up until row 13 accurately, so meaning that if you type anyhow you lose marks for accuracy. So when you create Excel, you have to type where you see as indicated. That is why it is indicated that do not key in the row and column headings, meaning that do not repeat D because you see it in the question paper. That A, B, C, D, E, F, those letters are already there indicating as to where do you type what you see. Even the numbers here, they are there to indicate where do you type what and how. So I've created the spreadsheet simple as that. Let's look at the instruction. 3.2, as a header, insert the question number, center align, and your examination number. Okay, so now when we go to our spreadsheet, we are going to click insert, and then header and footer, it's one thing, like a one tool on Excel. When I click it, it opens a section where I can type in my examination number and question number in the header. So the header has 3 spaces. When I click it, it's on the left, center, and right. So the question paper said we must center the question number, and then we must put the examination number on the right hand side. So question number, it will be here, meaning that here we will say question 3. You type question 3 like I did now, and then on the right hand side we will have to type the examination number. You put in your own ID number. So in my case I will type in the examination number as text, nation number, and then during the exam you will put your own ID number there. And then now use font Courier New 12. So we are going to use font Courier New 12. So you can see that that font there is not Courier New 12, so meaning that I can go to view and click normal, so that I'm on my normal spreadsheet. Then I can highlight everything and make sure that it's Courier New 12. Okay, so when my spreadsheet is highlighted, I go to home and then I go to Courier New 12, meaning that I will go and scroll down until I find Courier New 12 there. Courier New, and then the font must be 12. So Courier New 12, it's like that. This is how you do Courier New 12. So meaning that the header that I've inserted, it is there. It will only come out when I print, because it's in the header, it's not in the rows. Okay, now when we continue, they say adjust the column width as indicated. So meaning that as you have seen in the question paper, we don't have any campus cutting. So when you adjust between your column headings, the A, B, C, D, E, F, between the letters, you can put your mouse, when it's pointing left and right, you can drag to adjust. So meaning that they don't want to see a campus cutting like this. So after typing, you adjust them so that they are visible like that. You expand by going between the letters up there and control everything. So if you want to expand here, you cannot go here and expand from this side. You control them by holding them there between the column names there, and then when the arrow is pointing left and right, you can simply adjust so that the text is visible. That is what they instruct you to do. 3.5 says set the spreadsheet as mandatory 1 on your disk or according to your college examination regulations. So when we save, obviously you make sure that you know where you're saving, file, save as, and then you will choose the space where you're saving, and then you will have to remember the name that you're giving the file. So mandatory 1, there it is. When I click save, it is already saved. So mine is saved. You can see up there mandatory 1. That is how you do question 3. Question 4, it says retrieve the spreadsheet that you have saved mandatory 1 and make all the changes as indicated on the spreadsheet and the instructions below. Now 4.1 says change the question 3 to question 4. So now our spreadsheet is here on the screen. So when we want to change question 3 to question 4, it means that we have to open the header again. So when I go to insert and I say header and footer, you can see that the header comes again, but it's still question 3. So I go there where it says question 3. Now I change to question 4. And then after saying question 4, they say insert the new column headings and rows as indicated. Change the appearance, that is question 4.3. Change the appearance of the main heading as indicated. So now everything that you see here for question 4.1 to 4.6, 4.5, we have to make sure that the spreadsheet changes according to the new way of question 4. So what we can simply do is to look at how it will transform and change it exactly as you see. Now, as displayed now on the screen, you can see that the spreadsheet must change and look like this, including adding the new text that was not there. So when we look at this, now we can follow and change it to look like that. So firstly, the spreadsheet will grow, meaning that we change it from portrait to landscape, and then we follow everything that must come, including adding new text. Then we can do calculations. So now coming back to my spreadsheet, meaning that the first thing that you have to do is to view the spreadsheet on a normal mode, meaning that the header must not come, so that our spreadsheet is not cutting. So I go to view and click normal. When it's normal like that, then I can go to page layout, orientation, and landscape, so that whatever we are going to add, the page will not break, because we have allowance to continue typing to the right hand side. So the first thing now is to, as indicated, is to change the heading and make it merge and center. We can merge the heading and then make sure that the font will change to be 40 18 pt, and then we can change the subheading tuition fee per student to be a double underline, and then we can also do additional of new columns, and then we can calculate later on. So now let's transform the spreadsheet as indicated. So the first heading there must be merged, so we are going to merge the heading. 4.4 says merge and left align subheadings in row 3 and 5 as indicated on the spreadsheet. So now we are going to look at the spreadsheet again for the last time. If you check here, it says merge and left align, so meaning that if you look at the spreadsheet A to E, we don't have the grid lines stopping the spreadsheet, the heading monetary TVET college. The heading has been merged, but it's only across A to E. So I can highlight from A to E, go to home, merge. So merge and center is a tool, but they say merge and left align, so meaning that after merge and center I can just go and click left, so that everything is merged from A to E for row 1, but I keep it left aligned. And then when we go to the subheading tuition fee per student, it must be double underlined, so meaning I can highlight here and make it double underlined. So by clicking the small arrow next to underline there and choose double underline, there it is, it's double underlined. And then after there, where we see central office there, you can see that in the question paper as indicated now on the screen, we have totals. After that we are going to add total number of students enrolled, and then we are going to add minimum and maximum. So now on my spreadsheet back, now I'm going to type total, and then here I'm going to type total number of students enrolled as indicated in the question paper is total number, and then below it I have of students, and then below that I have enrolled, and then there I have minimum, and then there I have maximum. So now remember, we have to adjust whatever you type. So number, total number of students, this must be in column G, all of it. So I go between G and H and adjust so that everything is visible, that it's under what column. Then minimum also adjust, maximum also adjust, so that I don't have information squeezing or cutting anyhow. Then I can adjust where the information must fit correctly, so that we avoid unnecessary spaces in our spreadsheet. So I don't need this extra space, I will adjust. That is why the question paper keeps on emphasizing that adjust your columns so that everything fits. Then there I have too much space, adjust up until everything fits. So you can see that there's a, after column I, there's a line, dashed line that splits there. It shows that your spreadsheet will cut there when you print. So make sure that when you see this dotted line going down, it doesn't appear in between your columns, because it means that it will create page 2. So as long as your page is landscape, then that dotted line there must always be after everything. If it's in the middle, it means there's a space somewhere you still need to adjust. So you can see that everything fits nicely, and that line, dashed line, it's outside my spreadsheet. So everything that you see that was added, you have to edit. So there we have a number on our spreadsheet, on our question paper indicated that we must type 3599. Okay, so everything will make sense when we start to calculate. So now I was just making changes as indicated. Now below 2020 there, you see year 20 is cutting, so I will have to adjust there so that I see all the years. There they are. Now when I adjust there, after adjusting a little bit, you can see that the dash line is coming again. So we want to remove this because everything has been adjusted and fits nicely, but that line is back now. So you can go to view, page break preview, and then when that line is cutting, go in the middle of it and drag and drop it anywhere on the gray color outside there, and then go to view and click normal. So that line will never come back again to break your spreadsheet. So now below year 2020 there, we have to type number of campuses. Number of campuses. So just like that, number of campuses, and then we have to start looking at the spreadsheet instructions as to see what additional changes can we make. Now let's look at the instructions. 4.2 said insert the new columns and rows as indicated. We have done that. 4.3 says change the appearance of the main heading as indicated. We have done that. 4.4 says merge and align left align subheadings in row 3 and 5 as indicated. Okay, 3 and 5 as indicated. So meaning that on our spreadsheet we have to merge and left align. So here also I will go and highlight, go to home, merge and center, and also make sure that it's not centered but it's going to be left although it's merged. Alright, then 4.5 on the instruction says double underline the subheading on row 5. We have done that one. And then 4.6, that is when now we are going to do calculations. Now let's look at the things that we are going to calculate. We are going to calculate where the letters are appearing. Now let's look at the spreadsheet in the question paper as to where do you calculate. Totals as indicated there, it has to be calculated. Total number of students enrolled, that is B. Then C is the minimum, where we are only going to calculate where the letter appears. D also is the maximum, only where the letter appears. And then E also, number of campuses, only where the letter appears. So A and B, the difference is that when you calculate A, you have to autofill, meaning you use the same formula to determine the others. B also, you autofill, use the same formula to determine others. But C, D, E, only in those cells. We don't autofill. Now practically, so let's do it. Number A, so meaning that I will, on my spreadsheet, I put the cursor where the calculation must come. Then the question paper said total, the sum of all campus students and central office officials. The sum of all campus students and central office officials. So meaning that all the campus students combined with central office officials, we need the total for that. So meaning that I can say equals to sum, open bracket, then I highlight from campus A up until central office, close bracket, press enter, then that number includes everything with central office officials. Number B says, okay, before we go to number B, this total needs to be autofilled. So this icon here, when I go on top of it with a mouse, it changes to be a bold plus sign. Then I can click and hold and drag down, then that is autofill. It will use the same formula to determine the others. Same as there. Now we look at the instruction in the question paper. It says total number of students enrolled is the total minus central office officials. So meaning that this total minus central office will give us the total number of students enrolled. So here we are not going to use any sum, we are just going to use a calculation. So we are going to say equals to, then we go to click total minus, then you click central office officials, press enter, then it gives us the total number of students enrolled, and then we can autofill even this one. Okay, now when coming to C is only going to be calculated in one row. So meaning that this one here is where we're going to calculate C. So I've put the cursor where the cell selector where we're going to do a calculation. Let's look at the instruction. Lowest number enrolled in 2018. Minimum number enrolled. Lowest number enrolled in 2018. So the lowest function is called mean, meaning that now I'm going to say equals to min, open bracket. Now in 2018, meaning that 2018 here, I'm going to highlight everything there. Lowest number enrolled, so I'm going to highlight up until where we have central office officials, then close bracket, enter. Now it says 45. Now this answer 45 includes the central office officials, but now we have a column called total number of students enrolled, and then we took out central office officials for this. So meaning that when we were determining this minimum, we were not supposed to include central office officials because we are actually looking for students enrolled. So meaning that we rectify now this by only including students. So it will be equals to mean, but when you highlight, you start by campus A until campus C, and then you close bracket without taking central office officials. So the lowest number is campus B, which is going to be 52. Now let's calculate D. D is going to be calculated here, and then when we look at the instructions, it says highest number enrolled in 2019. So we're going to say equals to max, because that is maximum. So we use max as a function, and then you're going to highlight from campus A to campus C, and then close bracket, enter, and then we have the highest number enrolled in 2019. Now the last one says E, and E has to be calculated there as I've indicated now on my spreadsheet. So it says number of campuses, count the number of campuses. So we are going to count the number of campuses. Okay, so you can see on my spreadsheet here we have campus A, campus B, campus C. So now when you count, and then you see that what you are counting is going to have letters, you are going to use the function that says equals to count, and then you take the one that says count A, double click it, it will open a bracket, highlight the campuses that you see, and then close bracket, enter, and then it will count for you. If your answer says 0 here, is because you have used count, but you forgot that it's alphabetical letters. You're supposed to say count A. That's why you get 0, but now it's correct because I took count A. Right, so continuing to our question paper. With our question paper, 4.7 says display tuition fee per student as currency with 2 decimals. So when I go to my spreadsheet, tuition fee, there it is. I must change it to currency with 2 decimals. When I go to home there, I click there where it says general, then I have to change it to currency. There you see hashes because the space that we have doesn't contain the number because it's a bigger number. So you go between H and I and adjust so that you see what is coming. So it's not an error, it is complaining because of the space. So this is rands, 3,599 rands. So there, that is currency with 2 decimals. It comes like that. Then 4.8 says insert borders as indicated. So meaning that our spreadsheet, all of it must have borders. So now I'm going to highlight the whole spreadsheet up until we have the last number covered there. Then I'm going to go to home, then where you see the borders there, after underlining there, you can see that we have an option of all borders. When I click it, all the borders are coming to surround all my work. Then now that dotted line there is coming back again. We have learned about it. You go to view, page break preview, go to that border there, drop it outside so that when we print we don't have page 1 and 2. Then you go to view again, click normal, then we have a normal spreadsheet appearing. Save the spreadsheet as mandatory 2 on your disk or according to the college examination regulations. So I'm going to save this but I can show you first how it will come out when we print. So I go to File, Print, and then you will see the preview here as to how it will come out. So this is the print preview. Obviously all the lines will be coming out when we print, showing that everything is surrounded there. Then now question 4 will come out in the header, which is not, obviously when you are working you don't see it, you only see it when you are printing. So I'm just going to click the arrow back a little bit, and then I'm going to save this as Monetary 2, save as the folder where we are saving our work, and then Monetary 2 is the name of the file. Save. There it is. So question 5 here as displayed, it says change question 4 to question 5. So here they refer to the header, and then it continues by saying display the formulae, and then 5.3 says adjust the columns to show all formulae completely, and then 5.4, that is when we're going to save. So basically this question is all about displaying the formulas that you were using to calculate. So what you do as you're going to display the formulas, firstly you ensure that the spreadsheet is running or displayed on your screen like mine is displayed now, and then you go to formulae there on the tools, and then you click show formula. So I never highlighted anything, just by going to formulae, show formulas, and then it's going to display all the formulas as you see them on the screen. So now please note that after showing the formulas, obviously your screen will expand, meaning that your work will grow because it needs room for the formulas to display. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust like we've learned, and make sure that I don't have unnecessary spaces. So you see this campus A was too big, campus B as well, so I'm adjusting so that I don't have something that will make my formulas to squeeze, because that is where you get marks for question 5. So I need all these formulas to show, so then I will have to even adjust this, and then now adjust here where the formulas are showing, adjust there where the formulas are showing. So making sure that you don't cut here as you are displaying the formulas or adjusting. So you adjust there on top, but considering that the line doesn't cut the formula, so I will have to stop there, and then also there adjust until the end of the formula where it's displaying there. So just to verify, you make sure that your page is still on landscape, click page layout, and then you are going to just verify that you are on landscape still, so that your page, when you print, everything fits on one page. You don't have formulas cutting to be on page 2. So I'm going to go to orientation like I did just now, and then I have to choose landscape. So now it's on landscape already, so meaning that if I want to check whether it's printing correctly, I will just go to file, print, and then check whether all my formulas are showing. So obviously you are expecting the last column to show maximum, so you see there it says minimum, meaning that your work is cut into page 2. So we are going to fix that just now. I'm clicking the arrow there to go back, then remember we go to view, page break preview, and then I'm going to remove the line that breaks my page and drop it on the gray space out there, view again, normal. Then when I go to file, print, then I can see that my work will display on one page, everything will be on one page. There it is, meaning that when I print, all marks will be coming from this page, then I won't be penalized for any marks. So now we are going to save this as Monetary 3. So I will just click arrow back, file, save as, the folder where you are saving your work again, and then you just change the name of the file there. This is Monetary 3. So remember, this is when you were saving the formulas, saving a spreadsheet that shows the formulas. Okay, so I've saved this. Then now, meaning that if maybe you want to remove the formulas, it's the same thing. You just go to formulas and then click show formula again to switch off. Then your work is without formulas. But when you say show formulas, when you click it, the formulas will be showing. So this is how you'll be doing it. Right, then now question 6 as displayed on the screen. It says open the spreadsheet that you have saved as mandatory 2. Delete question 4 and examination number from the header. Insert the cluster column chart to compare the campuses. Insert the y-axis and number of students as title. 6.4 says insert the x-axis with campuses as title. 6.5 is where we are going to have our new examination number and question 6 written on top as the chart title. So that is 6.5, and then 6.6 says we are going to save it as mandatory 4. So we are going to be working on a file which is mandatory 2. So now I'm just going to go and open mandatory 2. So I will just go and click mandatory 2. Mandatory 2 will be opening. So this is the file that you'll be using. So what we are going to do now, obviously we are going to delete question 4 and examination number in the header. That is the instruction that we got. So we go, now we click insert header and footer to activate them, so that when they are showing we can remove what they said we must remove. So question 4 out, examination number also out in the header. So now here's my work. So the header is out. I just deleted the header now. Then I can now go and close the header because I'm in the header section. Then I can just go and view the spreadsheet as normal by clicking view. Now you want to click normal. It's not active because your cursor is blinking in the header section. You need to be careful of that even when you're doing your exams. So you just click on your work, then the normal will work. You see view normal, the normal tool is active because the cursor is not blinking. Once the cursor is blinking on Excel, you cannot use the tools. Right, view normal. Now I'm on a normal screen. Then now I'm going to insert the cluster column chart to compare the campuses. So for me to insert the cluster column to compare the campuses, I will have to look at the spreadsheet there and look at the campuses that I'm comparing. So meaning that the chart should contain campus A, B and C, and then now I cannot take them only like this. Firstly, it will be the headings for those campuses with the information below, but like this the chart will not be indicating what the campuses are talking about. So by default, the first column, when you insert a graph, it must be included. So this one is easy because the first column is right next to what I'm taking. So I want to hold control. I will take the first column with the campuses that I'm comparing, so that my graph at the bottom is not like 1, 2, 3, 4, but we know what the graph is talking about. So when it's like this, then I can go to insert, and then I go and look for the column chart icon there, and then I can take the cluster column. So I can go and say 2D. You see it says clustered column, so 2D, the first one. Then you see that my graph is showing year 2016, 2017 up until 2020, talking about campus A, campus B, campus C, right? So that is what actually the graph must show, instead of showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on here. So now we need the X and Y axis according to the question paper we looked at. So when I click the plus sign here, it's where I can add things to the graph. So one of the things that we are looking for now according to the question paper is the axis titles. When I put a tick there, you can see the axis titles is there for both X and Y axis. So this side here is where now I will say the title that they are looking for is number of students, because that is the Y axis title. So I will type number of students, and then on the X axis title there I will have to say campuses. I'm going to type it now, campuses there. Then I click on the title there. The title, we were told that we must insert the examination number, so in this case it will be your own ID number because it's an exam. So I will just write examination number. When you do it, you type in your own ID number, and then question 6. Okay, and then now obviously I will continue and say mandatory campus. Okay, this monetary compass must be below, so I will just have to push it with a space bar, then click anywhere on the graph. Then you can see my graph is like that. So now when you are continuing, now you have to print this graph alone on its own sheet. So meaning that I click the graph, go to design, move chart. Now click new and then click OK. Then the graph will move to be on its own sheet, meaning that when I print, it will be alone without the information where the graph is coming from. Okay, so now then I will have to save this according to the instructions as monetary 4. So I will go to file, save as, the folder where I'm saving, then I choose, change the name to monetary 4, monetary 4, then save. So meaning that now I've saved where the graph is going to be appearing. So this is how you do your question up until question 6. Thank you for watching. Please click subscribe, click like, click share, and everyone should see this so that they can also prepare for the examination. Thank you.